Hi Leo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your May 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. We'll be taking a look at the past energies, present energies, future energies, and once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side we have the Tarot Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as theirs. If you feel more like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so we'll fall out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side. We had a few cards come up. We have the Six of Staves, which is Leo energy. Three of Coins, which is Capricorn energy. Eight of Staves, which is Sagittarius energy. And Eight of Arrows, which is Gemini energy. So I can see this playing out a couple of different ways. For some of you, this could just be saying that, in the past you might have had some success around your work lives. Maybe you were putting a lot of energy into that, especially given the fact that while we had all that energy in Capricorn, being your sixth house, it would make sense if you had a lot of focus in that area of life. But it feels like, whatever the case may be, it looks like now you're actually putting more energy toward this connection with this person, probably being a lot more communicative with them. But I feel like what this is saying is it could just be a bit overwhelming for them. So especially if you were in a phase where maybe, your sole focus was just on work and you were barely putting any energy into the connection, and now all of a sudden you come back around and you're constantly texting them or whatever the case may be, or always asking to meet up, things along those lines. It could just be a bit overwhelming to them. Now, for others of you, another way I could see this is just saying that this could have been what you wanted to do around the situation. You wanted to let them know, hey, I'm interested in you, I want to build something stable, right? But when it actually came time to do it, you guys might have got stuck in your heads and actually didn't really communicate those things to them. So definitely some interesting cards in the past, but hopefully that resonated with you guys. Past energy on their side. We have the Death card, so this is actually the major arcana card for Scorpio. And I would definitely say, for those of you where, like I was saying, a few might have been overwhelming them a little bit, this could just be saying that they might have actually just wanted to cut the connection off. Now, to be fair, I don't necessarily even think that it's due to a lack of interest on their part, but the vibe that I'm picking up on is if you were just, really overwhelming them and they had their guard up, given that this is fixed energy here, could have just said that they might have actually ended the connection with you. And then for others of you where maybe you were just putting a ton of energy into work and none into the relationship, then that might have been why they actually could have decided to cut ties as well. For some of you, this could even be pointing to, technically at the time of recording this, we haven't had that Scorpio full moon yet, but for those of you who actually physically watched this in May, this could just be pointing to the Scorpio full moon as when the separation might have happened. All right, in the present position, we have Judgment, which is usually for me Scorpio energy as well. This is the death side, of course, and then to me, I view this as the rebirth side of the Scorpio energy. And then we have the Queen of Coins, so Capricorn energy again. Now, for some of you, this could just be saying that now you're actually, getting the desire to communicate your feelings to this person again and, wanting to have something stable with them. Here, it looks like you're a bit more sure of yourself in that regard, so that's the good thing there. So I would say even for those of you where maybe if you didn't express it in the past, but you were just really stuck in your head more than anything, I feel like this is saying you're getting a little bit closer and more confident in yourselves to actually come forward. And now here, the way her body language comes across too, I feel like you're a little bit more confident in also saying, you know what, I'm going to let them know how I feel. Let the chips fall where they may. If they're good and they want to proceed with me, great. If not, I'll be good either way. So this could just be representing a growth in your confidence toward the situation. Let's see if anything else comes to mind with this. Now, for some of you, this could just be saying, with the relationship, some of you might be getting pulled away for work again. So that's something to keep in mind there too. All right. Present energy on their side, we have the King of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here. Now that is your opposite sign. So On the one hand, it could just be saying that they might be open to that connection as well, but again, I'm picking up on more of a detached energy here than anything, and this is the second fixed energy we've seen too. So this is someone who seems to be digging their feet in, so not necessarily easily influenced, you know what I mean? So just might want to keep that in mind and really read their energy when you do interact with them to see, where they're going, where they're leaning with things. See if anything else comes to mind with this. That's pretty much it. All right, future position. You guys got a ton of cards that came up here too. We'll see if we can make some sense of them. We have the Eight of Cups, which is Pisces energy. Prince of Coins, which is Virgo energy. Four of Arrows, which is Libra energy. Three of Arrows, which is Libra energy as well. And Five of Staves, which is Leo energy. So future position, what's interesting here is I see two indicators of backtracking. So the Four of Arrows and then the Three of Arrows underneath that. And here seeing the Five of Staves, whereas in the past you had the Six of Staves. So this is just a huge blend of energies here. So let's see if we could make it make sense. Here's one way I can see this playing out. With the Eight of Cups, this could represent you guys saying, you know what, this person's not really putting any energy toward the connection, right? If we look at those Seven Cups there, they look like that heart symbol is filled in, and then this one looks empty. So, you might come to the realization, you know what, doesn't look like this person's ready for anything, I'm going to move on. But then at the same time, you're still kind of holding out hope for something serious to take off between the two of you, right? Try to take some time to heal around it. But then I feel like it's saying that, whatever this is, the disappointment would come back up to the surface, and then you guys might actually end up engaging in arguments. So, now, the one thing that I'm picking up on this primarily is I don't necessarily feel like this is like a long-term situation as far as, this is how it's going to be forever. But I feel like more than anything, this might be telling you guys that, it might be best to withdraw a little bit for the time being. Your general reading, too, had a theme of strategize. And what this could be coming down to is the fact that you guys are going to have Mars in your 12th house all throughout May. And then, of course, there's going to be a Mercury retrograde in Gemini toward the end of May. So to me, it could just be one of those things where you have a lot going on in your heads, and when it actually tries to come out into the world and into fruition, it might not come out exactly as you planned. So this might just be a time to pace yourselves a little bit. But see what else comes to mind with this. For others of you too, it could just be saying if you really are trying to push things, in a fast motion, like, all right, let's go, let's move right now, right? And this person definitely doesn't seem to be at that same pace. You might actually be asked to look at why that's the case, and see if there's something that you have unhealed as far as why you're so eager to get things off the ground. Yeah, that's pretty much it there. And the future energy on their side, we have the Magician. So again, this is an energy of someone who definitely seems to be in their power, but I feel like this represents that energy of manifestation. So again, like I said, I feel like you just might have to really, if you want to, it's totally up to you, but I feel like you might have to just really kind of let them dictate the pace that this connection goes in for the time being. Looks like this person's not going to be budging, in the past, present, future with the Magician energy. Looks like they will be more open to it. But I definitely get the vibe from them that they're good to just walk away if you're like putting too much demands on them, or if you're trying to move too fast at a pace they don't want to move at. I feel like they would just be willing to cut ties. And the bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Nine of Staves. So this is actually Sagittarius energy, and usually it's an energy of being guarded, having your guard up. So naturally, I'm inclined to feel like this is you feeling that that's their energy toward you. Totally could be the case, but you never know. Underneath the surface, you might have to look and see if maybe there's a way that you're guarded, and then that's how these energies play out. Because if there's something really holding you back subconsciously, then you might actually end up self-sabotaging in these situations. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Seven of Chalices. So this is the Seven of Cups, Scorpio energy here too. And Usually this represents confusion. So that's really what I feel like it is. Even though this person is digging your feet in, it's more of the fact that, they're not quite sure which way they want to go just yet. So I feel like the more you try to overwhelm them, it's just going to make them irritable to where they're like, okay, well, you know what, I'm just going to cut ties altogether. So could just be saying, again, an indicator that you might need to be a little bit patient with them. And you know what, I do have to say, quite frankly, given that, like I was mentioning for you guys, Mars will be moving through your 12th house all of May, basically. For some of you, this could actually be your energy on the right side. So something to keep in mind with that. But we'll see what we get from the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck. And I did pre-shuffle this deck. Just looking for unspoken messages from you to them and then from them to you. But if I shuffle for a while without any cards coming up, I'll just move on to the next Oracle deck. But occasionally we get extra messages here, so we'll see if we get any. Oh, got one, but it fell. And next we'll see if we get any from them to you. Then I'll pick up your card. Alright, nothing there, so I'll go pick up the card from your side and we'll see what it says. Okay. Alright, we have trust. Says I have a hard time trusting anyone. I'm doing just fine on my own. So, interesting message there. Now, I do have to say, it's interesting, I was saying before we started to shuffle this deck that, excuse me, I felt like for some of you, this could be your energy on the right. Because I feel like this message might resonate more with this person, quite frankly. But I could technically see how that might be the case with you too, right? And then that could be where the anxiety kicks in and where you do try to overfunction. So, hope that resonates with you guys. And next we'll see if we get anything from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck here. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here we're just looking for one card with general advice and then we'll wrap up. Got one, so let's see what this one is. Okay, we have To Be Fair. There's the artwork, and the number is 38. So we'll see what it says. Okay, it says balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. The Oracle's message: life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being from stasis to doing from discovering, to loving to letting go to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. If you are not content with where you are at this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause, there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. So, interesting message there. And the relationship message says, can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking, for understanding as well as asking to be understood. There is much to be learned, and you will learn it if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is one in which there is mutual benefit and each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. So definitely an interesting message there. And like I said, the main thing I picked up on in the past was almost like the energy on this side seemed to be overwhelming this person to where they're like, you know what, I might just cut ties altogether. So that's the energy you guys were in at one point. Keep that in mind. And now I will also read the protection message just because there are some tougher energies in here. And hopefully that'll resonate with some of you as well. It says injustice and okay, let's start that over. Injustice and inequity are a part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. Choose your cause and commit to it because you can make a difference. One thing is for certain. If fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned. For the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. So, interesting message there. Where to go? It says this is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. So, if anything, like I said, I feel like you just might have to be really patient with this person. Like I said, it looks like they're definitely dug in. Now, I don't know, like I said, maybe for some of you it was because you completely blew them off and you were just focusing on work and not really giving them any energy. And if that's the case, it could just be saying that the scales need to be balanced in that regard. But kind of a strange reading, I'm not going to lie. So it might just resonate with a smaller group of you. But hopefully it resonated with those of you. If this is your situation, we'll wrap up there and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.